Today we have a nice looking Porsche Panamera, 58,000 on the clock. We are going to do coolant leak in the V. We're going to take intake, EGR, oil cooler, water pump. It's the usual stuff really for one of these V6s. I've done many on A6s and A7s. I haven't done it on a Porsche yet, so let's get it done. How do you know your vehicle is low? The under tray boards are getting skimmed by the tarmac. There's a party under there. It is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's leaking oil. Customer was just here. He acknowledges it, but he doesn't want to do it right now. Oil leak from the sump. Nice and accessible. I like that. Let's start pulling coolant out. Yeah, it's a bit oily. I don't think it's like super bad. Seen worse. Hopefully they changed the EGR cooler for the better. Because on the A6, I had to move the turbo and the DPF both because under the turbo there was a bolt. Hopefully it's not the case this time. Come on. There we go. Ooh, that's a big boost pipe. So let's take the belt off to do the water pump. Yeah. Belt is not really happy about the coolant. If I'm able to, I want to take off the whole of the intake, so I don't want to separate this if it's not necessary. I'll see how it goes, but yeah, my idea is to remove the whole thing. That's how they design for you. So you have a channel, a plastic channel for the wiring loom. That's not enough. You have to put plastic clips in there. Or, you know, you could just make a crankshaft and engine that doesn't vibrate as much so that the wires don't chafe away, but high pressure pipe that comes from the high pressure pump onto the rail, that's a feed pipe, that is actually in the way for the manifold to come off. I need to take the manifold off to get to the bottom nut, but you can't take the manifold off. The pipe is in the way for the manifold, but you need to take the manifold off to get to the pipe. It's gonna be interesting. That pipe goes there, goes under, just in there, and that little gap you can see the pipe union. To get to that, manifold off. But the manifold cannot come off because the rest of the pipe is in the way. Taking the solenoid off now because the bracket is bolted onto the manifold. It is time to attack manifold. Every bolt is out. There will be something else. It's way too stiff. This pipe have to come off first because turns out that the bracket bolted that way here. So I can't get to that bolt because it's in the way. So the pipe out, bracket off, and then it will come off. Okay. Nope. The left rail have to come off because it's in the way. Looking quite clean. Let's take a brief look at the ports. Ports are nice. There's nothing crazy in here. I mean, not being funny, if you use the car as per it's intended to be used, so you buy a Porsche and you sending it, it's not gonna gunk up. If you buy this car and you use it as your granny would, guess what's gonna happen? EGR problems, DPF problems, turbo problems, intake problems. So yeah, send it. But within speed limits, of course. First things first, I want to take out the EGR. Ah, there we go. I believe we're gonna change this as well, because that, and this, and this, and this, everything is leaking coolant. So this thing has coolant and engine oil in there. The only thing separating them two galleries is the gasket between them. You can make one guess what's gonna happen when I pull this off, which I have to. Oil, coolant, everything will be everywhere. So guess why I have to take this off first? Because there's a bolt for the cooler underneath that. Yeah. Some engineering marvel this is. This corner is more wet than the other. Gasket is really hard. Ha! I see the bolt. Look at it. Look at it. It's coolant mixed with oil, crystallized and burned. It's a bit cleaner. It's not clean. It's a bit cleaner. I still need to get rid of all the flakes and everything. There is a huge risk that it falls into the oil gallery. And my biggest concern is that it's gonna be after the filter. I need to blow it, so I'm blocking off everything that I possibly can. We're about to get nasty. I'm sick and tired of cleaning windshields. Yeah, no, coolant still doesn't taste good. That was coolant at some point. Now it's more like mud. Hey, it's getting better. It's getting better. Weird bits in here, like metal bracket. I can't say it's the best, but it's much better than it was. So now we're gonna get the cooler out. If it hasn't been messy enough up until now, now it's gonna be a real mess. Yeah. So because of the design feature, as you can see, everything is everywhere. The oil change is the minimum that we need to do with this. I would be happier with an engine flush. We'll see how it goes. But as it is right now, we need to get rid of that. The saki is coming back. It's not only the coolant gallery, now it's the oil gallery that's exposed. So we are going to keep the blowing air in there to a minimum. Because like I said, I don't want no crumbs or any flakes to fall into the oil gallery after the filter. That would be like fatal for the engine. This thing is a coolant control valve, yeah? So vacuum operates the valve. Pretty sure it makes sense from engineering point of view, because you shut it off, you route it this way, route it that way. But because it's plastic, leak started there. Leak is at the shaft. It's super hot in there, so need to clean some more. Now I can take out the O-rings. Now this is bad. Now this is basically vinyl. Most of us know that if you have liquid inside the thread, you want to get it out before you put the bolt in. So we're just gonna put that in there, sucks it up. Like I said, I don't want to blow air in there because I don't want crumbs to go everywhere. If you put the bolt in, starts to wind it in, and it doesn't have a chance to escape through the thread, it will crack the block. That's all right now. Before we dig any deeper, I just want to see what parts do I have. We need to make sure that we have everything, like the valve, thermostat and oil filter assembly. Woohoo! A bag of gaskets from Porsche. The water pump. Yes, now this is the gasket for the cooler. The new cooler. Why do I have like 5 throttle body gaskets? This is the only part that we haven't got. Gasket is more like vinyl, so we will need the gasket. There's another weird thing about this. This, I assume, coolant pipe. That needs to be moved away to get the filter housing off. But here's a twist. So you see the boost pipe over there? And you can see the back of the bolt, which is on a captive nut. That is really snug to the boost pipe. I won't be able to get a Torx 30 on that. If it was like a hex head, I wouldn't have this problem. So it's got the air filter in the bumper. Don't need to take the bumper off. It does look like the bumper have to come off for the air filter. Maybe if I take the bolt for the bracket off, maybe I can move the boost pipes just enough so I can get onto the bolt on question. Where there's a will, there's a way. So I'm doing it like 1/6 at a time. Okay. Oh my god. Gasket is shit. It's hard as vinyl. We have a ball sack with a limper. Yes, sausage. So anything I wanted to remove has been removed. I took off the front cover, which is not the timing cover, but that separates coolant, oil, and it's all on a really thin, like a hair thin rubber gasket. The more I do it, the worse it gets. That was one of the reasons of the coolant leak. So someone snapped the aluminium bolt in the block. This is the balance shaft. On the other end, it is connected to timing chain. I'm not entirely sure if that classifies as okay. So let's have a chat with the customer. You know what drives the balance shaft on this engine?
Yeah, the chain at the back.
What would you say?
I don't want to say anything.
That's f***ed up. He wants a chain. If I drop the engine, I mean, I already have half of the shit off. So putting it back on with the engine out would be a lot quicker, and then just chuck it back in, send it off. I'm just gonna make the note quickly for the customer that the chain needs doing. So customer didn't want to do the chain this time. It's gonna happen at a later appointment. He's just happy to do whatever we're doing at the minute and not to go further. So this is where we're at, and we are still cleaning. So the engine is as clean as it will get. Now I'm gonna remove the bolt that has been broken a long time ago by a different guy. Good thing that the aluminium is easy to drill. Now I'm gonna drill it with the 5mm so I can tap in the 6mm thread. I have the 5mm final hole diameter. I'm going to use a standard run-on-the-mill everyday 6mm tap, but I made a little modification for this. So this is the original edges, and I ground down two of the opposing edges so that it fits perfectly in an e-socket. I'm actually quite pleased with this. And this part usually fails here and also here because it sits here and it's hot. If this part would be metal, it would last a lot longer. Original bit again. So now we will fit this, but before we fit this, obviously we need to move stuff over from the old unit. It's not a whole lot. So sensor, and a pipe. I'm just gonna thread it in loosely so I can put the others in. That's done. So now, oil thermostat. Yes, you heard it right, it's an oil thermostat. So that goes in there. Positive thinking. Come on, positive thinking. The other flange, genuine gasket with brand new cooler. Small flange goes on. And the order is this flange and this pipe after you fit this, because the corner bolt for the cooler is not accessible once you have the little flange on. The new set of balls. Okay, so here we are going to replace intake manifold gaskets. Nothing particularly wrong with them, but they have been compressed once. Ah, that one was actually leaking a little bit of boost. So if you see the soot marks on and outside of the gasket, it's no good. First I'm gonna blow the crumbs off from the intake side. Then I'm going to clean the mating surface, otherwise it would be shit everywhere. Yeah, it's looking good, bro. It's looking good. So we have our crank seal, front main crank. It looks like this. It doesn't come with the applicator, and also it's Teflon, PTFE. We can't really stress it with a screwdriver or anything. If it would be rubbery, I would attempt it, but this time I need to do a different trick. I'm just gonna clean it up a little because I don't like it sticky. Put this on, and then put this up on there. I only need to push it until it bottoms out, so it's flush on the outer side of the cover. When the sound changes, that's the indication that it's fully home. Everything is bending inwards, so it didn't flick out the seal. I think it's actually pretty good. I'm happy with this. Let's see if these holes line up. They do. Awesome. You can use it as a skipping rope if you want to. Okay, so now we have the belt back on. It's gonna be leak-off pipes, boost pipes, intake, and then we're good to go. Yeah, if you're an impatient person, this trade is not exactly for you. Make sure there's nothing in there. That goes there. Just a final check. Everything is in place and plugged in. Come on, get on. It's time to drain oil, fill up with coolant, fill up with oil, and we're gonna fire her up. And fingers crossed, it ain't gonna leak. If you were wondering what's going on with the oil filter comes fitted into the assembly. Because people are like, oh, you need to change the filter. I fucking have. It's fluid time, and then we're gonna fire her up. Nice and slow. Let's see if it works at all. Just putting the heater on. No warning lights so far, which is a bonus. So we're just gonna check for leaks now. Measure the oil level after this. A good old road test. Thanks for watching.